All right, so in this video, we're going to conclude fly line management. Fly line management to me is a couple things. First and foremost, I want to take a look at my boat. Up here is where I'm going to be fishing, up on the deck. You notice there's no obstructions. My push pole is back in the back, my push pole holder's down, nothing else is up here that can hang me up. My mat that we talked about is down in the cockpit. Fly rods are up under the gunnels, nothing here that this line can get tangled on because we all know fly line loves to hang up. Now, in the old days, the fly lines that we used to get had a lot of memory. Now, what did that mean? That meant that overnight when they were on your reel, they would coil up at the diameter pretty much of the spool. So when you go to strip it out in the morning, it would come in these coils. Really restricted the ability of line to go out. It could come up in knots. You had to really pull it hard to straighten it out. It was just tough to work with. Now, these new fly lines have almost no memory left in them. They're really, really good lines. I don't know if you'll need to stretch them out. I still do. I told you before, there's several mental parts that I've got to eliminate so that when I'm throwing to that tarpon, all I care about is that tarpon. I know that every other aspect of what I'm doing is going to flow flawlessly, at least I hope. So I still stretch my line. I told you I like to throw 70, 80 feet, but you only need the line for each situation. So if I need to throw 60, I might put 70 out just so I can make the cast. So here's what I do. First thing, every day when I get in the boat, I strip out my line. I just strip out 60, 70 feet, whatever I need, right onto the cockpit, right at my feet. And you'll notice that it's just coiled down there. It's got next to nothing. It's not where you want to leave it, but we're going to stretch it now. So I stretch, I step on sections, I just give a slight pull, and you'll notice that the line will still flex, and sometimes an inch, inch and a half. You don't want to pull it any harder than that. You will feel it go to refusal. Don't over pull your fly lines. You could break them if you just rip at it really hard. I did that once when I was a kid, and that was a very costly mistake. So you're going to stretch it, get what last little remaining part of memory might be in there, but now it's all at your feet. We've got to clear this line so we can then put it on the cockpit, lay it out nice loop so that it flows freely. So we're going to step back up here, get this line out of here. We want to clear this line, clear the line, get it all the way out. One more cast, shoot it, get it all out of the boat. It's way out there. You notice it even came up unobstructed then. It was because I stretched it, in my opinion. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to back off and I'm going to throw it into the cockpit on my mat. Nice big coils, big loops. Notice I'm throwing big loops out here. Now it's not getting anywhere near the fly rods, it's staying right on the mat. After a while, you won't even need to look. It'll be muscle memory on your arm as to what you're doing. So now that we've got the line where it's supposed to be, at least we hope, we're going to step up, get in our ready position, get the fly in our hand. Now when we see a fish, the intent hopefully is you're going to get it going and it's going to come off that deck nice and freely, really clean, fire right to the target. There you are. Notice it came up, no obstructions. Did not inhibit my ability to make that cast at all. That's what you're looking to do. Same thing, when you're stripping, you want to strip back in big coils because when that tarpon eats and he goes to take off, you want to make sure it comes up nice and unobstructed as well. You know, I tell you a lot of this stuff because I've made these mistakes and I'm trying to make sure you don't, or at least try to help you not. In my first Gold Cup, I already told you in another video, I basically did everything wrong. I hooked a great big 100+ pound fish, thought I was in control. The fish starts to take off. I'm holding him right here. He's taking the line. I feel this knot come up in my hand. It went through the first guide, the second guide, broke me off on the third guide. I was so disappointed. I felt so stupid because I knew I should have done better at positioning this fly line. So I make these mistakes. I want to share them with you so that hopefully you don't. Now that doesn't mean even if you do everything right, something might occasionally go wrong. It's going to happen. But the more you do it, the more muscle memory that you get, keeping that line out where it's supposed to be, the less chance you've got of making those mistakes. Just making a nice cast right to the target, unobstructed is what you're looking for. So, you know, I do this every day. Every morning when I get in the boat, I do it. If I take somebody fishing, I recommend they do it as well. There's no downside to this, so it's worked really well for me. It just makes me feel like I've got a better chance of clearing that line and making that cast. I think it might work good for you, so just give it a try.